Hello and welcome back to another edition of Sites of the Internet, and I am your host, Codex. And on this edition, I'm going to go ahead and just give it to you straight. I'm having kind of a tough time of finding the rare jewel that is Joey Greco amongst the episode of Cheaters, seeing as how I did some really quaint little research here and there, and it seems Cheaters and Joey might have not have ended things on the best terms. So I think maybe that might have another reason as to why those episodes are becoming harder to come by. Maybe I'm just not looking well enough, but I've been searching. Anyways, here we are with what may be a multiverse variant of Clark Gable or his grandson that's took out the third, or I don't know. But we have somebody that is the host of this version of Cheaters that goes by the name of Clark Gable, and just like in the previous editions, we're about to go into this blind. So let's go ahead and start this edition of Sites of the Internet.
Joining us on yet another shocking episode of Cheaters. In our first case, Tony Brickley comes in to question his old lady's actions. Recent suspicious circumstances push Tony to the
53,
brink.
huh?
He requests assistance from Cheaters.
He kind of, let's see.
Lilith and I met about 12 years ago.
He kind of looks like a cross between Iggy Pop and what's his name, drummer of the Foo Fighters, Taylor Hawkins, I believe is his name. He looks like a cross between them a bit, and maybe the other guy's slipping my name. He's a '60s dude, but anyways, why would I even bring that one up? It's gonna fly over a lot of your guys' heads, the '60s one. But he looks like the drummer of like the Foo Fighters, and Iggy Pop like got together and had a weekend at Stagecoach. Not to be mean, but he has some nice little tone in his arms here and everything. But I could tell that depression's getting the best of this young man here.
A little show we did here locally when I was playing local clubs, and
Cubs. Cubs are nice, like the sports team, right?
Take my eyes off of her.
I mean,
whatever. For the show.
Nobody likes baseball, I guess.
Just hit it off, and we've been together ever since. The good times have been great. You know, the playing in the band and her being there.
Look at that, Wolverine got to him right here. That's how tough times have been for him. But yeah, so like he was probably thinking about like the baseball team, the Cubs, because I mean I get that he's sad, but anyways, so he's a musician obviously, and we're probably gonna have a couple opinions here on this edition in regards to musicians and dating and all of these kinds of things. Whether there'll be hot takes or not, we'll see when the time comes to it. But it seems like there's a messy situation going on here for this guy.
And hanging out with our friends and just the fellowship with all those guys as you kind of grow as a band, and her being right there with me has been great. Our band got a little break. We're asked to go out on tour for a couple of months.
Who'd you open for?
The partying got a little out of hand.
Oh, come on, dude.
Activity around the house when I come back in from the weekends, and I'm just not sure. I'm just not sure.
Lilith Brickley, age 53, a day spa technician suspected of muddying up her relationship. Briefed by Tony.
Look, before we even start, I've said it before. At least I've said it in the previous reactions to Cheaters episodes. In particular, when it comes to the person that's suspected of cheating, signing a release form, it's either one of two. They got either nothing to hide or they don't care. They don't care. And this is something of where, again, we'll lead down this path and we'll find some stuff out about Lilith, and I believe his name is John here. But anyways, we'll find something out about country Iggy Pop here.
That he will soon tour, Cheaters deploys a squad of operators to stake out the home Tony shares with Lilith. This evening, investigators spot an unfamiliar car as it pulls into the driveway.
It looks like we're watching Catch a Predator now.
Gets out and walks to the house. The suspect, Lilith Brickley, comes to the door. She greets the unknown woman with a hug before allowing her entry.
It's just a friend.
The past couple of times I've come home, the house has been a little bit more messy. There's been I can tell people have been around. And
okay. Again, we've done this before, and I'm going to do it again. This is by no means trying to be comedic, but when people start throwing these kinds of fears again into the mix of like, oh, there's been plenty of times I've been out and people are over and like the place is messy. It's like, what do you do? What do you do? What do you do when you're hanging out with the band and you party? Like you said, you got out of hand. What do you guys do? You guys sit there and crochet late into 5 in the morning, 5:30. Oh, guys, look at the time. Oh man, look at the yarn we weaved, literally and metaphorically. Oh man, what are you talking about, dude? Your little concern there already is unfounded. Come with a little better concern when it comes to your reasoning to believe you're getting cheated on. Because I mean, this kind of messy thing, just like the lady in the other episode that I reacted on, for her to be like, oh, he left in the car and the tools for fixing cars are like in the truck. It's like, no, most vehicles for the most part have some basic standard tools, and if this dude knows what he's, but it's beyond the point. Let's see what other concerns you have here.
She hasn't really told me who they are. I've caught her on the sofa, butt ass naked, more than once.
Well, let's keep hearing some more of this, because I could still to a degree I could defend this, and I'm still not trying to be funny, even if I have this dumbass smirk. It's just that line, butt ass. It's like when people say buck naked too. It's another thing that I've always found funny, or when people say naked. But anyways, let's continue.
Just, hungover, bad hungover. There was an incident early in our relationship where she
David
got
Gilmour,
caught.
David Gilmour guitar
She
solo.
admitted it to me, and
okay, there you go.
Through that, I worked through the alcoholism.
Well, then there you go, Skip. But the house being a mess and you have unknown friends, that's still, I guess I wouldn't necessarily point that as a bullet point here on your list of concerns of why you're getting cheated on. Maybe you got cheated on, like you just admitted here, and you have this concern. Like, again, as previously stated, which is gonna sound like no pun intended as a person who has records behind me, but a record that's on a locked groove here, to put it more exact. But if you're going to cheaters and you have a concern on your relationship, again, it's probably time to lift the needle on that record and, set yourself up for a new experience, if you will, because it's not working out, bub. It's not working out, dude. But let's go ahead and keep hearing other things here. I mean, what do we need to say? But this already, the fact that she signed the release form and all this is going to probably, I'm hoping it's going to get out there.
With her, I worked through the cheating. We decided to stick it out.
Otherwise, why would you sign the release form if you're not going to get out and pop off and be like, you know what, dude?
What really bothers me the most is that I can't get anything out of her, and she won't talk to me about it. She won't tell me if anything's wrong. She won't tell me if anything's right. It's just, when are you leaving again, and how's the tour going? That kind of stuff. General conversation.
Sometime later, suspect Brickley and her companion say their goodbyes with a jocular hug. As the suspect closes the door, her guest leaves, and the night surveillance...
Wait a minute. I even forgot to, breathe and pass, just try to, formulate some ideas through here with this. But, okay, so she's cheated on you before, but you're talking about finding her on the couch naked, hungover, and did you find her with I don't know, not that it ever matters. If it's something you're not comfortable with and you've expressed that before, it's just crossing that boundary, and you wouldn't do it either. I get, but still, I just personally, if she's stated before that she gets wild and she ends up naked and such, that shouldn't always equate. Again, if you're open enough to have dates or be dating somebody like he might be, or I don't know, if she likes to be just nude and gets drunk, I don't know. I've been around some pretty party friendly people, to put it nicely, that they tend to go overboard, but at most times some of them either end up asking or confiding, but and some of the times where they don't actually end up asking, they're usually parties, so I don't have to feel the pressure of being like, hey, this is time to leave, at least for me. But more importantly, um, yeah, besides the cheating part that he's already stated, I just don't know if I personally, if any of you watching would and consider that enough of a thing, go ahead and tell me how weird and disgusting and the stereotype that I'm playing to for not really caring if, because again, if I was in any form of relationship and I knew that, and it was pretty comfortable and knew that, because I mean, why would even the comfort thing be needed to said? But just for this example here, being comfortable in a relationship and being open-minded enough, if again I had a partner, it's just, or I already knew, hey, I tend to, I don't, yeah, I think a lot of you know where I'm going with this, but let's see what goes on in this rockin' relationship.
Sins.
I can't forgive her this time if I find out she's cheating. I just can't do it. You know, what's that going to say about me?
Now I know who he looks like a little bit. He also looks like Creedence Clearwater Revival singer. I can't really pronounce his name. It's almost like I used to make fun of him because I used to call him Mr. Foghat, and I used to tell people that and just to make my middle school teacher mad. But anyways, beyond the point. Yeah, he also looks like the dude from Clear CCR.
I've already given her 1, 2, 3 chances with the drinking and
Tom
the
Petty a little
before.
bit too.
I can't tolerate the cheating. The drinking we can get through. We can get through that. But the cheating, I can't do it. You know, I've got too much going on. I can't be worried about that. That's something that
What's this
just,
right here?
It's not gonna work for me ever again. You know, to walk all over me like that again, to make me feel foolish again. I just don't have time for it.
Quiz time, and go ahead and tell me in the comments who said this. Fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice. Fool me twice. You can't get fooled again. So if you know who said that, go ahead and tell me in the comments, and I'll make sure to give you a shout out in the next video, I suppose, that I record after seeing that comment. But beyond that point, yeah, dude, what do I gotta say to you, man? Like, not even just to like you guys watching, but like this individual here, like, you know, you forgave it. I just don't feel like, even based on how much he says he's being forgiven and understanding, I still don't think he's giving himself enough reason so far, based on what I've been seeing and hearing, for this dude to be putting on in just like a 30-second loop sample of like James Blunt song, like Michael Scott in The Office here. Like, you know, it's, I don't know.
Cheaters maintains the stakeout on Tony's and the suspect's home. After a long day of surveillance, Cheaters scrutators spot the sedan from previous surveillance. The woman, identified only as Eden, stalks to the door where suspect Brickley greets her. The suspicious pair slips inside.
Lilith and Eden. What? So on the nose.
Cameras placed by Tony shows the antics within the home. Eden produces a.
This is almost like that one part in Fire Walk With Me, the Twin Peaks movie, where David Bowie's character, Jim Jeffries, I think. That Jim Jeffries is a comedian. But anyways, David Bowie's character shows up, and then they're all like getting all scared and stuff because of random stuff's going on. But it cuts away, like they shot it in like a fisheye type lens like this. It was kind of funny to see that.
Bottle of wine. Suspect Brickley produces a colorful bottle opener. The pair shares a few glasses of wine.
I love wine.
Sometime later, the pair
which
of
is probably no surprise to people.
Climb the stairs to the pool room. The two overtly flirt as they bang the balls around the table. Brickley eventually makes her move and kisses Eden. The pair makes out on the pool table. Sometime later, Eden rushes out of the house, gets in her car, and departs. Cheaters.
She booked out of there. Like, there was something going on in her personal life that she just booked out of there. But I guess, you know, to anybody that's cracked open a book or been around the internet or around the metaphorical block enough, Lilith and Eden, cheaters, whatever.
Stays on top of the home Tony lives in with the suspect. Sometime this night.
No, seriously, what's next? Oh, they have a third friend. She goes by the name of Jezebel.
The familiar vehicle of Eden appears, and like in previous days' surveillance, the suspect's consort appears as well. With her guest gaining entry to the home, the hidden cameras show Mrs. Brickley move to get a glass of wine for her lady friend. They sit and converse on the sofa.
You know, I almost choked up because I thought for a second she was cosplaying as, what's her name? Scarlet Witch. I was like, did she just literally show up to this place? Or like, Agatha Harkness. She showed up dressed up like one of the, magic characters from Marvel or something.
Again, the suspect makes the first move and kisses Eden. The suspected adulteress pushes the envelope beyond just kissing when she removes her top. Soon after, the kissing resumes, and the suspect's bra joins the shirt on
Man,
the
this
floor.
is probably like one of the first YouTube
Sometime
channels to
later,
start and
the
probably have like
accused
no
housewife
monetization
escorts her
available for it
companion to the
at all
staircase.
chances wise.
Brickley lays the young woman
Whoa!
on the stairs.
Oh my!
The suspect proceeds
Oh
to
my
perform
God!
very intimate conduct on the female consort.
This is like The Sims.
Sometime later, the suspect and Eden finish up with a kiss.
Wait, what were they doing?
Brickley retrieves her discarded clothing, says
What were they doing? All I saw was like just a big. Were they fighting like in the cartoons? When they fight, they like it just gets all like weird and blurry and stuff. You guys ever see that on the cartoons? I don't know. I'll say this. If the dude's able to run up the stairs without slipping, I don't think anything happened.
goodbye to her friend with an intimate kiss and puts an end to the night.
And I wouldn't get upset.
Cheaters puts out a call to a
I'd be upset at Eaton if I was Lilith.
Coming up,
Tony's most dreaded fears.
Miami Vice lover boy over
Cheaters
here.
contacts him
Clark
to schedule
Gable.
an appointment to present their evidence. Fearful of the findings, Tony mans up like a rock star.
What a pun, Clark.
Tony, you obviously know why you're here.
Yeah, I know.
And when you first called us, did those
Young
feelings come
Morrissey
back up
over
again?
here.
Yeah, they did. Yeah, I've been suspicious for a while.
Okay. I really want to stop your frustration
Look at that.
and the anxiety of really just the not knowing what's going on. So
I'd say budget Morrissey, but Morrissey's already a budget version of himself. This dude's like Matt Gates' cousin cosplaying as Morrissey right here. You get this, dude. Look at the tattoo right there. What is that? Looks like a pine cone or a rose. I don't know. Look at, they have 2 lapel mics. Maybe I should start using that when I do sights and sounds. But anyways.
with that being said, are you prepared to see our surveillance?
Yeah, yes.
All right.
They got 2 lapel mics, dude.
Tony, we begin our investigation outside of
They
your
got
home.
4 lapel mics,
Sometime
actually.
later, we see this vehicle pull up. Never seen that car before?
Mm-mm.
Okay, then we see a woman get out of the vehicle. She walks to the front door, and that's when we see them exchange a hug. And
Let's take a wild guess. Oh, they're showing, if they don't show the footage of them going right for a kiss right away, I'm gonna take a blind guess that the dude's probably gonna be like, "Oh, I'm not worried. Have any guys showed up or something?" Let's take a wild guess. Maybe I may be wrong, and if I am wrong, I'll be like, "Oh, see, I'm a moron, and who knows about any of you guys that make guesses on people that look like me, since I'm taking a blind guess on another moron here."
And she walks inside. You do recall the surveillance cameras you installed in your home?
Mm-hmm.
We see them playing some billiards, and that's when something strange happens. Did you see that?
Whoa. Oh. I can't, I'm so pissed right now, man. She even lied to me about this.
Get a little more mad, dude. Show it a little more.
Tell me if you remember this conversation you had with Lilith.
Hey, baby.
Hey, what's up, babe?
Hey, what's going on?
I'm on my way to practice.
Oh, okay.
Got a short one tonight, yeah.
Okay, all right, cool.
What's going on? Why are you out of breath?
She's just jogging, dude. Leave her alone.
I'm up in the pool room.
What? You're out of breath?
Yeah, like I said, I'm just running around vacuuming.
That little sound playing, either it's like from the restream that somebody had like on Chatterbait that re-uploaded it onto YouTube, or this is like the show giving the channel that uploaded this on YouTube giving the moments like their own personal like sounds, like an achievement on a video game. Like somebody just unlocked an achievement here for that, like the dunk lying and dunk him having to believe it. Dunk cheaters exploiting another broken couple with little connection and little to do in the way of conversation. Dunk Manny making another horrible video. Congratulations.
We at practice tonight?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. I'll be home later.
All right, I'll see you after a while.
Bye.
Wonder how long.
Do you remember that conversation?
Yeah, I remember.
He's on. No, I forgot actually.
It was just the other day.
Yeah.
After finishing up that phone call with you,
Morrissey,
we
come
see
with
that
better
female
stuff,
run
dude.
downstairs, run out the front door. She
Making
gets into
me
her
look
car
good.
and quickly leaves.
Wow.
Tony, on this day of our investigation, we're outside of your residence. We see that same female dressed in rather revealing clothing. She's greeted by
She
Lilith
cosplayed
with
as
a
Agatha
hug.
Harkness,
That's when we
dude.
get our internal surveillance. They kiss.
Oh.
And that's when
Okay, they're gonna finally tell me what happened right now here.
This girl helps Lilith take her shirt off.
Oh. Oh my God.
They exchange some
The
more
heater was
kisses.
broken
Lilith
and it
flips
just
her hair
stayed
back.
stuck. That's
Lilith takes off her
understandable.
bra,
But I want to know what
walks
happened on the
Isabel over to the
stairs. That's what I want to
Throws her
know.
on the stairs.
Oh. Oh.
Throws her. She
And
put herself.
then
She sat.
goes down for the kill in between her legs.
Oh my God.
This is. Like,
She was
this is
trying
the
to
worst-
perform cannibal. Well, she
this is
failed
the
at it
worst
because they
thing I
both
can even
actually lived and
imagine.
survived.
Trust me, man. I completely understand that.
I gotta go.
completely
Do you,
understand
Morrissey?
that.
Because you're a vegan and nothing against vegans, but he left Coachella over vegan sensibilities not being met. There was like, what is that? It's making me sick. I just don't feel I can play here no more. That was Morrissey back in 2009. Check it out. Like type it in Coachella Morrissey 2009. Like stop watching this. Like look it up. He flipped out. He pulled a flippy because of the fact that somebody didn't catch the memo that Mr. Stephen Morrissey didn't want to play while somebody out there was doing the good old American grilling. I don't know why he would have came to play out there at a festival. But beyond the point, you don't know what it's like here, Morrissey. Be quiet.
That's your house right there?
Yep.
That's all right.
Whoa.
Let's cut the lights once we get in the back.
They were partying or something.
Beautiful. All right, let's get out quietly. You know
Quietly,
your house? Yeah, we'll follow
four
you.
big vans rolled up like you guys are the feds.
Be real quiet.
Yeah, guys, all four like vans of us, all like 12 of us that just rolled up. Let's be quiet with all the cameras, all the like electricity noise emitting. Like shh, don't worry about that. Look, it's so bright and like we just heard, but be quiet.
Lilith, good God. I saw everything you did. Everything. I know you've been drinking.
This guy's really
I know everything
composed.
that happened
Like
with that girl. Who is she?
he hasn't
Who is
yelled
she?
in comparison to the guy in the last video that I did. Whew.
How come you never told me about her?
This gentleman right here is
Where you?
Why would I tell you?
That guy took it out from like the rest of the videos I'll probably be doing.
A year?
Morrissey, look at
Is
him.
there a reason why she didn't want to tell him?
Well,
She was bored. She was lonely. He's on the road all the time.
I'm not supposed to act like this when you're with some on top of some chick on my pool table.
Yeah, well,
That's
where
cool.
were you?
That's cool,
You
right?
haven't been home.
That ain't cool with me.
You
know
haven't
where-
been home ever. You're never home.
That's not fair.
Well,
That is not fair.
what are you gonna do? You gonna go get famous or something while I'm sitting at home by
You're the one that's
myself?
famous. You're the one that's famous right now.
Actually, you're a little more famous. You're the one that called cheaters. Being fair, dude. Yeah, does she look bad? Totally. Especially because she signed the release form and we all get to look at what she looks like. However, And that's a big however. You, you here were the one that decided, you know, I'm a rock star, right? Because she's making fun of you, but I'm going to be real with you. You're out there playing a tour, stuff. Don't let her berate you either or bring your. Is that dude wearing a Mandela shirt? Yeah, I think he's wearing a Mandela shirt. Hell yeah. Mandela. Anyways, the point here being is that don't call cheaters. If you're that worried and you really feel the need to, do something a little more discreet, or actually, you should have done, better yet, it's free because it seems you wanted to cut some money by writing into cheaters to fix your relationship. You should be like, hey, I'm back from the tour, and guess what? I'm not going to go anywhere for a while, and I want to actually make time for us to converse about whatever it is that neither one of us here is actually talking about. Is there anything in which you feel that our relationship may not be working to maybe either a standard or desire in which you'd like met? Because I'd like to either know if I could either meet that, or if I'm interested in meeting that, um, or if it's something we can both mutually work at, if it's something that it would require both of us rather than one of us more than the other to work at. However, no, you decided to call cheaters, and you were the one that introduced this whole entire case and shindig and everything by letting us first off and know that Lilith here was cheating on you before we even got to even see and even introduce, before we even knew Lilith entirely. We already knew you. So who's more famous here when calling famous here? See, this is where you don't want the fame, right? But you have to own up to this, dude. This is your fame. This is your call. You have the boom mics behind you. You have the lapel mics. She was the one missing clothing, and you're the one like putting her on the spot for that. So again, you're the one that's more famous.
Thing on the stairwell.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Oh, you don't know the stairwell? Show her the stairwell scene.
Okay.
I told you she was going to.
It's a staircase. A stairwell, I think, goes around.
The reason why we're here is because
the spiral staircase. I don't know whether they have. I don't own stairs. I don't have that money. I don't tour.
Before, correct?
Why are you still
That was
here?
a long time ago.
That was a long time ago. Listen, I completely agree with that. It was a long time ago, and he forgave you. Now, he said that you made a promise to him and a commitment that you would not do this again. So why are we here? And
Well, I thought he would be here for me, but he's never here. He's never here. I'm by myself all the time.
You know the deal. Hey.
All these people look like characters that would show up in somebody trying to low-key like rip off of like a David Lynch type thriller and trying to squeeze their way into like a film festival, and like this is the cast they would get for like the big Basic Instinct meets Lost Highway type of thriller. I gotta be real, like all of them, every single one of them, including the host of the show, and like that would be a premises of the movie. I could imagine, like the main characters, like they would go through a story arc also, because they would of course rip off of Tarantino, but in this movie, what would basically happen is that it would play out in 3 segments, and all 3 segments basically revolve around something that basically has nothing to do with the 3 segments, but what links them together is that there's like a cop trying to figure out in the beginning of the movie what happened to one of the cameramen that like got seriously injured, and it's just because he's like related to somebody like really influential or whatnot. So they're like, what happened? Well, you're not going to believe this, but we're going to have to like basically go through the last 48 hours, and they're going to go through like everybody's, because they're trying to figure out like, oh, if it was like whatever. But yeah, I feel for all these people, including like Morrissey here in this situation. I'll like tell you why right now when they show the conclusion.
Hey, you can go on the road with me. I told you that. You can go on the road every time you want to, but you don't want to.
Lilith,
hey, I get it.
He told me that he's a musician and it's extremely hard to date one, but I mean,
How do I know you won't be doing the same thing on the road?
Hey, I got opportunities, but I don't take advantage of them.
Lilith,
So we think.
have you been drinking?
Well, yeah, a little bit. It's right there.
Is it a little bit or?
Morrissey, look at
Just a
him.
little. You're slurring the words.
Just a
The only
little.
reason why I'm asking is
Are you eating pork? Is there meat in here? I just want to know because it's making me feel rather uncomfortable. I just can't be around and perform on camera if there's somebody that's doing something that I wouldn't do. I'm Morrissey after all.
That drinking's been a factor in the past.
Leave me alone.
You told me you weren't drinking.
Well, I wasn't.
You guys both
for
signed
a
the
while.
release
Yeah, I
form,
know
so
for a while, but
Coming up,
the confusion.
Lilith, good God, it's all everything you did, everything. You told me you weren't drinking.
Well, I wasn't for a while.
Yeah, I know.
Do you think the drinking had to do with after you started seeing this woman? Did it maybe stress you out that you didn't tell your husband? I'm not here to.
Really?
Show
I'm
her
not
the
here to
stairwell.
listen.
Show
I'm
her the
not.
stairwell. She's
I'm not
lying
here to
about it.
disrespect you.
You know, I remember
You're
the
lying.
stairwell.
Yeah, you better remember it because you're fixing to see it. I saw it.
Well, at least it was memorable, baby.
So that was memorable.
Yeah.
So you would
See,
compare.
there we
this,
go.
you don't think
Here's where we go back to what I mentioned earlier. When people sign release forms on shows like this, there's either two reasons that they will sign them. Personally, from me watching this stuff, to burn my brain cells, to not feel so entrapped within my own self-created existentialism. But when I want to burn those brain cells because of that reason, I'll watch stuff like this. And one of the things that I've seen as a reoccurring pattern, whether it's on this show, whatever other trash MTV or Viacom, to be more exact, has spilled on. I don't know whether this is a Viacom produced show, but my point being is, in most relationship type centric reality TV shows, most people don't sign release forms unless they're just trying to be like, yeah, what? I did that, and what do you think, that I'm ashamed of it? You should be ashamed of this too. I gave you all these signs. I told you I didn't want to go on tour with you. What do you think that I'm interested on tour? Like, how do I know? And she's quite frankly showing that she didn't really care, and like there should have been signs leading up to, before that potential cheat to have happened, for you to have realized it's time to call it a wrap.
Yeah, you don't remember that?
Yeah, I remember that.
So, just a minute ago, you told me you didn't remember it.
Yeah,
Now
well, you
remember
guys
it?
busted into my house with a bunch of lights and a bunch of cameras, so
we
yeah.
busted into his house and
My
your
house.
house. Who is this other woman? He's never seen her in her life.
No, he hasn't met
And you
her.
guys, and she said this has been going on for a year.
For a year, yeah. I met her at the
year?
spa.
A year.
I met her at the spa. She was a client, yeah.
This is bull.
Hey, do you want
Total bull.
a glass of water? I can
If
go have
anything's
someone else
BS
a glass
is
of
that
water
she
and you
crossed a really professional line by having some form of a, intimate affair to do with the client. Whatever business it is, you should never mix that kind of thing. It just makes it messy for everybody, including your coworkers or potential employees if you're the owner of an establishment. And nobody needs that kind of weird drama when you're already getting underpaid, all right? Whatever the situation is, I don't care. I don't care who you are or what it is. If you're a person that's working and doing whatever it is, and through that means you've somehow struck cut it out. Cut it out, or at least tell that person, hey, don't show up anymore. Just stop. Because if things don't work out, you can't come here berating my customers or my employees or my coworkers, and you can't. And like, I've seen some other shows that I'll pull up situations that really got messy when it was like employee, worker, or owner with a customer kind of relationships that started out in that regard, or there was more of the side person. Like, don't do that. Like, not a good idea.
You two continue to talk. I'm gonna go talk to this other female.
Right
to
on,
find out
whatever.
her story, but
We're gonna go harass
Will
this
you
other
please
person,
talk to
but
him
we'll
and
leave
tell
these
him
other
what
cameras
you're
here on
doing?
you
Right
guys.
back, okay?
Yeah, come on, let's go,
What
Morrissey.
else do you want to know?
the truth.
Why didn't you tell me? Why
What
didn't you tell me
happened?
you were having these
Why?
feelings or these thoughts for this other woman or
It's not
anybody
easy
else
to
for that
do.
matter?
That's really hard to do.
Really?
Hey, I apologize for the cameras, and I know it's really.
So I'm here to
awkward
bring
sitting
some
down
more
here.
cameras.
So you've been doing this for a year.
Yes, sir.
I'm not sure if you knew this, but they have been together for 15 years.
I just was drawn to her, and I thought she was amazing. And
I
did
don't-
find
she
out from my
doesn't care,
husband, but I
see?
just didn't care.
I even
There
called
you go. Oh!
Pull tail grabbing her ass, and I'm on the phone with you.
You see, the people with the pink hair, and they all will stand and say that they're very pro these. Yeah, no, see, it's very obvious again. Like, she She doesn't care. She didn't care, and she probably told him plenty of times, or gave him at least some form of signs. Cause being this brazen and being like, you busted me or all this, and like I'm sure also had some form of, like, she's not just getting brave for the camera. Is what I'm saying.
It's bull, man. This is bull.
When you say you didn't care, is that with the intention of like, screw that guy, or the intention of like, I'm just obsessed with this girl?
What do you?
A little bit of both. I was
Oh,
getting obsessed with her.
dude, no way! Right here, right here. I think that's a Tank Girl tattoo from the Alan Martin Milligan run. But beyond that, like, yeah, no, no. Oh, I'm starting to see a thing. Yeah, no, this dude got screwed over, and and to a degree, it's probably a lot of it his fault. I don't think she lied about any of this or really kept it hidden or anything. Um, there's probably some stuff. I don't know if we're. Yeah, no, yeah, no. There's probably some stuff that she's probably being fair and pretty straight and cool with, and it's probably gonna keep out of the show because it's none of their business to bring up, I'm sure. But there's probably some things that made her feel like, hey, this isn't gonna be a serious thing ever for both of us. And even then, like, this guy still was, for some reason or another, was just not getting it.
A little bit, and then before that, I just wanted to get to know her, and I think it just came down to falling in love with her, and I just didn't care about our marriage.
I reached a time in my life
happens
when I want to make myself happy.
Well, you should have done.
Yeah.
You should have told me a year ago. I should have never given you a chance 12 years ago when the happened. I should have never let my guard down, and I did. I let my guard down, and this is what you do to me.
Does she drink before you guys start to do your?
She was actually sober.
She was sober
She was sober.
when you guys met.
Yes.
This is how you treat me? Like this?
Can we go downstairs? Can we? Just get out of here.
Sure.
Get out of here.
Unfriggin' believable. Now all these people know.
You went and told
You're the one that.
You do know she.
Okay, there you go.
I didn't.
See, there you go. How are you gonna get mad at her? What did you expect? Calling cheaters and stuff to waste cheaters? You know what, dude? I'm gonna tell you straight out. Your big thing that should have been like, oh no, I am. It is happening. Was when like cheaters took the job. You think cheaters wasn't gonna look into certain things or certain points? Have producers? All this stuff's budgeted, my friend. You should know, Mr. Big Rock Star. What's wrong with you? If this is a real, because I still keep going back and forth as to how many of these shows and how many of these cases are true and how many of them are just like, some more Jerry Springer type thing. But like, there's certain, again, things that I'm just like, did you not? I don't know.
No, until
I don't know.
Wine over.
We used to talk, and we used to talk about everything. We used to talk through the. I trusted you.
What did you ever
What do you want to
reach
do about
out?
it? Now what? We're here. There are people, cameras.
You tell me what you want to do about it. You want to be happy.
I do
You
want
want
to be happy.
If you wouldn't mind, would you step over here and hear what she's saying? Because
Sure.
if we can get all the truth out right now, and if you can vouch for anything, that would be great.
There's no intimacy here.
There's no
nothing.
There's no intimacy here, because I just got a completely different story from her.
Oh, I don't know who you are. Where did you come from?
She came from her home. Don't talk to her like that.
Don't even bother.
Why are you even still
Don't
here?
even get into
Why
her
are you even
face.
still here? Shut up, Lilith.
I'm really nervous. I don't know
This
what to
is
do.
my house. You shut the up.
Our
Oh, now you're starting to put a voice. No, you better cut it out, dude. You've missed a lot of the chances to assert yourself as a.
No.
Okay, I'm calling the cops.
Lilith, you should just leave with her. What are you doing, dude? Stop wasting your time on this joke of a fucking rock star.
Yeah, let's just go. Let's just forget about
There
it.
you go.
So what are
Good
you
job.
gonna do? You're actually gonna leave your home right now?
She and I know what we want.
Stay with him,
With
Morrissey.
you or you.
I think your mistress is waiting for you.
Yeah,
Yeah, have a good
Yeah.
night.
Later.
Have a wonderful night, Lilith.
I will.
Thanks a lot.
I will.
Thanks a lot.
Devastation of the.
You know what? I don't condone cheating, and I've said it already, and I don't think it's the right thing to do. But something tells me there's certain things that, for like old homie's sake here, I think Lilith was leaving out, because I think to a degree she's totally was interested and willing to have talked with him about certain things, and it just seems to me like he was expecting, for some reason, I don't know, why he had a certain little pendant that not me, but there's people out there that could draw certain distinctions on this kind of thought process when it comes to relationships and who should do what or start what. Now, I don't mean to start a big war in the comments here or anything, but again, yeah, I again, relationships are a two thing kind of situation here, friend, and seems like with Lilith, you didn't do an equal part to give a sense that you cared enough, which is why she ended up not caring, finding somebody. It seemed like Lilith and Eden really clicked, which is Mr. Clark Gable, Mr. Morrissey's sadder brother here didn't quite understand either, which is pretty obvious where he might stand on certain things like what Lilith and Eden were doing, which is still not right, but honestly this is a situation of less to do with two people being lustful and more to do with it seems like Lilith and Eden genuinely liked each other, which is really, really apparent by the fact that well, Lilith decided to leave, which was a good thing for her, and because Mr. Rockstar over here starting to finally put some bass in his voice. It seemed both pathetic for him and her, and especially because Eden was just there, really nervous, scared, and not knowing what to do. And again, do I think what they both did was right? But do I also think that what he was doing was right by having reached out to cheaters and not done something to genuinely try to maybe fix this relationship? Yeah, neither person's right here, as they usually aren't in this show, with exceptions to certain episodes where I do feel genuinely really bad for some people, like the lady on the other one I did. But well, that's it for this one. I might do the next one here since they're doing little grindhouse like double features, and I will be back with the next part for this. So see you all later and have a good one.